I guess we could. Speaking of horrible jokes, I guess we can start out with me taking a look at degrees of separation.
Holy shit! Why?
I wanted to.
Oh, wait. I'm thinking of a completely different thing. I'm thinking of Death by Degrees.
Oh,
The Nina Williams game.
Oh, right. Yeah.
That is completely my mistake.
The one where, like, she always looks kind of beat up.
Yeah.
But she totally looks like she's loving it.
Beat up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's super into it.
Yeah.
It's the
I'm an assassin.
It's yeah. No, not Death by Degrees.
No.
Degrees of Separation.
Right. Okay. I don't know what that is.
That's it was a game I believe by Modus Games put it out, and it's the game where it's a co-op puzzler where you play. It's basically there's a fire girl and a water boy, and they are kind of walking and solving puzzles, but they can't touch because there's an invisible barrier. But the world switches between summer and winter, like as the lines separating them. So there is a what would the correct term be? There's a mathematical term for the line that divides 2 points on a graph, and then you can basically it shifts according to where those points are. But
parabola.
No, not that one. Anyway,
dividing line.
If there's two people, if both characters are standing next to each other, there's a line in between them, and it's summer on one side, it's winter on the other. And if the boy jumps over,
it's a bisecting line.
It's a bisecting line, and if the boy jumps over the girl, then it rotates along that axis.
Okay, I get what you're saying here.
Yes. So that ends up being a nice reason to solve puzzles.
So by manipulating the character's movements, you can move what parts of the stage are winter and summer.
And yes, and thus melt or freeze water, or ignite lamps and such. And it's very, very pretty. Very, like gorgeous 2D Vanillaware, Ori and the Blind Forest style. Not like to that insane level, but still very, very gorgeous.
Evoking that.
Yep. Yeah. One Kira Buckland voices the narration.
And so that's getting there, man.
Awesome. And so, so I decided to sit down and play that. And I was joined by one Min.
Yes.
Formerly known as Billy.
Yes.
The artist, formerly known as Billy. And, oh my God. That was a trip. It was one hell of a video because it's something that I've been always aware of this. And, it built up somewhat during the every time we sat down together and did stuff, we would always kind of feel this moment. And for the entire time of our friendship, this has always been the case where Min's sense of humor and my sense of humor are completely different.
Have no overlap whatsoever.
And in fact, I would go to say that his sense of humor, it's not just mine. It's our collective sense of humor is very different from his. And Min's just the kind of guy that gets right to the point. He doesn't overthink it. He doesn't try to dig any deep, or he doesn't go into, there's no level 2 lore. There's just the joke, and the joke is the punchline, and the punchline is the first thing that comes to mind. And so what you get to see is I'm trying to have banter, right? I'm trying to so throughout Zoe, there's a couple times where I'm trying to set up the layup, and I'm like, oh my God,
it's sitting there.
Just catch the ball. Just catch the ball, And in this one in particular, it really comes through to the point where I pretty much lose it twice on camera, if not more. And most of the video is us solving the puzzles and in a very almost Kirby Epic Yarnish kind of way, making it through this very happy, pretty game. But I'm trying to
frustration.
But I'm trying to make I'm trying to set up the very out in your face bits that come with this world of separation and the whole anything that your brain can go to from there, and I'm trying to play with it. And it's not to say that I had slam dunk jokes.
Okay, Mr. Simpson, when I step on your foot and say hello, Mr. Thompson, you say hello.
And it resulted in hilarity because it more or less had to become, okay, so this is how the joke works.
Oh,
and
God.
this is what it means.
Oh, God.
And it's not at all. I really need to preface and say, because you can watch it and you can see like how it goes down. I really need to preface, this is not at all to say that I thought my jokes were hilarious or great or even that good. It's more just when we do a video, we just try random shit.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's gonna be a funny joke or not. I don't know if it's gonna land. None of us do.
This kind of
you gotta do a little bit of pass the ball.
You can do 2 versions of this content. You can do live. You can do edited, constructed content, a la, let's say, a Mr. Klemps, right? That's got a fucking script. He reads that script. He edits it. Then there's us here, us on Twitch, which is just take every joke you have and put them in a basket and then just start throwing them at the audience as fast as you can.
See what happens. You have no idea.
Maybe 2 jokes will touch each other and make a third baby joke.
I mean, like and the funny thing is that like a lot of the reaction that people have been having is like, oh my god, this next level of sandbagging is
unaware of sandbagging.
Well, that's what I was gonna get to, I guess, because you either have to redefine it or like change the wording, because it's like this is unbelievable next level min sandbagging, and I'm like, is it a sandbag if you don't know what's happening?
Yeah.
Does that actually count?
That's to go even further beyond.
Right? That's what I'm saying. Like, is it really actually Ultra Instinct if you don't know that you're fighting?
Yeah, because he's sandbagging it instinctually.
Instinctually, right? So that's the thing where I'm like, I go like, hey, so I at one point I go like, so, you know, I'm trying to explain it, and I'm like segregation, right?
Yeah.
Because I'm going in that dumb, stupid, obvious way where I always go through the racial shit.
Yeah.
And he's like...
you mean like the food on your plate?
No. Better.
Okay.
He says, oh, you mean like androids?
Oh, shut up.
And I'm like, oh my god, is your only context for separation on a bus like fucking Detroit? Is that literally
That's
it?
the new world we live in,
And
buddy.
that's Min. That's the fucking kid. You know what I mean? His world is one where that's what that means. I'm like, no, I mean like civil rights.
And
he's like, yeah, I don't, you know. I'm like, my god.
You mean like you have to take your garbage out on Tuesdays,
dude? So like, does that count as is that a sandbag?
Yes, absolutely.
It's a
that
new
is
form.
an Ultra Instinct sandbag.
It is a new form of sandbag
Yeah.
where it's not intended at all. It is completely unawares, and it's the ultimate because you can't even crack.
Because the sandbag core is, hey, you're saying something, and I don't want to give it power, so I'm going to ignore it,
right?
Or vice versa.
Sure.
But the Ultra Instinct sandbag is, I can't give it power because I don't know what you're talking about.
Just dodging it naturally, and there's no.
Well, Christ, it's actually more like it's phasing through.
Yeah, actually, it doesn't land. Like I go for the layup, and the ball
just vaporizes in the air.
The net disappears, and the ball just hits the ground and rolls. And then when I try to follow it up by explaining, he picks it up and he just walks away with it. And I'm like, you're not taking your ball and going home. You're taking my ball.
No, this is my ball.
You took my ball and went home to your home. It was ridiculous, and that has been summarized in a video that went up yesterday or the day before now. Holy fuck, man. It just, yeah.
Remember, everyone, context is important. Without context, nothing makes any sense.
So it really is. It's like the thing that I've been feeling for like many, many years now, for as many years as I've known the dude. It's like, here it is, captured, because how do you...
Yeah, if anybody ever asks you,
here?
Hey, what do you mean? You're like, you got 20 minutes?
Yeah.
Go click that.
So, and otherwise, the game is very beautiful and pretty and has some fun stuff in it. So, there is that. You know what it reminds me of? It honestly, like, the first place my brain went to was, Pilkington.
Whoa.
Right? My brain went straight to Pilkington because That's the level of like.
But that's like a reverse Pilkington.
But it's like you are unaware how hilarious it is that that this is going over your head, and it's actually like, wow, look at these results.
I actually, I think about Carl Pilkington sometimes because he's the best, funniest, best person ever. And I think about how Ricky and Steven kind of ruined his life because... Do you remember the final episode of the first or second season where he goes on a caravan trip? He just takes a trailer out and has his usual vacation and has like a week out in an essentially like a trailer park like he usually does, like British people do. And he's just kind of bored and miserable because he's like, oh, it's just not that special now, is it? Because, compared to India or, China and that shit. And it's like, this was a simple man who only wants simple things.
And he enjoyed them.
Yeah, and now he doesn't enjoy them.
Yeah.
But he also didn't enjoy the new things either.
Right.
So now you've just like...
You've taken it all away.
There's been a net loss of happiness in this man's life.
We just need Min on camera saying, I can't be doing with this. And then it'll all come to a head. It's actually like... Yeah, it really reminded me of that, and on that level, and at a point when you're going through it, like I realized there's a point where I was like, oh no, is this just not gonna work out in any way, shape, or form? And then I was like, no, wait, I think the actual gold is to be found in explaining how this is not going over well at all.
It's like that fucking Bill Burr walks out to the virus tour.
Yes. Yeah. The 12-minute rant at fucking Philly talking about
the worst audience ever.
Your hero is fake. You have a statue of a fake boxer that's your hero. What kind of garbage city are you? like literally that. And that's what it is. Just acknowledge the fire as you're in it. And there might be water to be found, but you know what? We're just going to sit here and let it burn. This is fine.